I've been trying to edit together my next little hiking vlog, and I'm realizing how boring they are. Today, to make the video side of things easier on myself and more fun and enjoyable to edit, we're gonna focus like purely on B-roll because I really need to practice on that. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Okay, so I came up with an idea of what we're gonna do. If there's running water down here, I'm gonna turn this into a little how-to video on how to do long exposures. Okay, yeah, this is gonna be the perfect spot for this. I'm gonna hike back down over to the start of this stream. I'm gonna get all my equipment set up. Okay, for a long exposure, you're gonna need three things: the camera, the tripod, and an ND filter. Tripods aren't necessary. You can set your camera down on a flat surface if you're okay with that. Okay, so what's an ND filter? So this is gonna act as a pair of sunglasses to let less light through our camera so that we can take a longer exposure without overexposing the photo. So we're gonna be able to bring that shutter speed down to 1 second, 15 seconds. If you're starting with daylight long exposures and you wanna do really long ones like 10 to 15 seconds or longer, definitely go with an ND1000. This one's a K&F concept. They're a little bit cheaper, running for about anywhere from $30 to $100 depending on the size. I have an 82mm one for my lens. You have to. Hey, future Curtis here because past Curtis can't explain anything. So if you need to find the filter size for your camera, you're just gonna take your lens. Most of them have it on the front. You're gonna look for the O with a slash through it and then the number. This one is a 55mm diameter. It is a 67mm. This one here is a 49mm one. For the Tamron, I couldn't find the diameter anywhere on it. So this is one you would have to Google. Oh wait, there it is. Never mind. This is a 67mm filter thread as well. So you can usually find it. Just look for the O with the slash through it. There we go. I normally start by setting my ISO to 100. This will give us a cleaner image and a better dynamic range for editing later on. A better dynamic range is going to allow us to bring more detail out of the under or overexposed areas in an image. Now, if you're in direct sunlight, the ND filter might not block out enough light for longer exposures of 15+ seconds. Adjusting your f-stop to a higher number will not only reduce the amount of light coming into your camera, but also affect your depth of field, or bokeh, that blurry background all us photographers love. The higher the f-stop, the more in focus everything is. Less bokeh will be present in your image. In my case, I'm in the shade. I'm gonna turn mine down, keep it at f2.8, try some photos with that, and I'm only looking to do about a 13 to 15 second exposure of this water. We're gonna focus it. We may have to go into manual focus. Looks like we're okay. And take a shot. I'm also gonna put on a 2-second timer after this test shot, just to ensure I don't get any shakiness in the camera. Here's the first shot. With a light edit, we're able to bring out all the details hidden in the shadows and balance the light. If we zoom in, we can also see the long exposure effect of capturing the water in motion. All right, so I've turned my camera. I want to take a really nice Instagram shot. First thing I'm going to do, which I've already done, I'm going to change my drive mode, put it down to a self timer of 2 seconds just to reduce any shake of me releasing the shutter button. I've got it all lined up here. We're going to do a test shot, 13 seconds at f2.8, ISO 100. Okay, so I'm going to hit the preview button and see how this photo turned out. So as you can see, having an f-stop of f2.8, our background is blurry. So I'm gonna give you guys an example of what you can do if you want everything nice and sharp. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna bring the f-stop up to f8. Everything's darkened up a lot. We're gonna counteract that by going to a 25-second exposure, focus on the center, and let's see how that turned out. Very dark. That's something we may be able to save in post-production. Let's try to get it a little bit nicer out of camera. So we're gonna go for 30 seconds, and this time we're gonna adjust the ISO and bring that up to 320. ISO is gonna make the sensor more sensitive to light. Okay, let's try one more. So let's zoom in on this. So we should find that things are a little bit sharper, which they are. All those leaves that were previously in the background, I focused in the same spot right there. All these leaves in the background, because we have a higher f-stop, are now sharp and in focus. Okay, so I'm starting to get really chilly now. I'm going to try and snap a bunch of photos. Okay, so I was filming B-roll, but I'm gonna stop now, get the Sigma 100 to 400 out, because there's a bunch of robins bathing in the cold water over there. Those might be some cool photos. I'm not gonna film like any specific B-roll for this. I'm just trying to get a photo of a very common bird playing in the water in the winter. There he is. I always forget how fast this camera shoots. Here he comes. I'm not sure how well these are gonna turn out. I think they're gonna turn out terribly, but it's fun. This camera does funky things. I got it wet one time, and now it doesn't work properly. It'll change settings on me out of nowhere. Okay, finally getting the shots I wanted. I'm low enough. I've got an angle of him splashing in the water. And then we'll see if DxO can clean up the noise, because these are very dark photos. I'm shooting through the trees here into the water down below. I think I'm gonna call it quits. Yeah, I think this was a lot more fun. Oh, I'm so tempted to take more photos. They're all down there, splashing around in the water. It's adorable.